Of gladness as well to witness the opening ceremony for this training, as the banner clearly stipulates training of rural nurses on FGM within the Fuladu area. First and foremost, before I proceed with any of the stipulated itineraries, I will firstly want to introduce the members of the high table. Starting from my immediate left, we have Mr. Amadou Mbake, the chairperson of the implementing organization for this project, which is no other organization but the Samba Tacko Youth Development Association, which is of course within the confinement of the Basse Fuladu East administrative area. Next to him, we have Mr. Boubacar Diallo. He is the chairperson of the Regional Youth Committee, which is a decentralized structure under the National Youth Council to represent and coordinate the affairs of young people at the regional level. Mr. Diallo, you're most welcome. From my far left, we have Mr. Ilo Diallo, Population Officer for the Regional Office URR under the National Population Secretariat Commission, which we all know is a very much paramount institution established by the government of the Gambia to support population activities countrywide, and he is representing that institution here in URR. Mr. Diallo, you're most welcome. Interesting, of course, we have two Diallos on the high table. Finally, on the high table, we have our senior, our guardians, our leader, the governor, the able governor of Upper River Region, Madam Fatou Jammeh Touré. Can we please welcome her with a round of applause?
Jammeh Touré, you are welcome. And then Mamadou Billo Diallo, the population officer. Our regional youth chairperson, Boubacar Diallo. And we call them, normally our boss used to call the nurses or the CHNs or the doctors, the heroes of development. Good morning to you all. And then you are highly welcome. For Samba Tacko Youth Association was established since 1997. And the aim of and the objective of the association is to build understanding or cooperation between the youths and the VDC in order to make development of the village. So the youth organization is a voluntary organization. Since we are registering and then we register the association, is a voluntary organization. And then we were fighting for problems or for the development of the youths. Like we fight malaria, we fight HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis. Now, if we see that FGM is another problem for the youth or for girls, small girls, then we have to also include FGM also there. So in that note, we are very happy to see you people here, and then through this training, we can we know that we can eradicate FGM, because the nurses or the doctors, you are directly working with the population, and without your help, I don't think that we can eradicate FGM. Samba Tacko Youth Association is saying no to FGM, and then We want all the Gambians to say no to FGM, and of course, through you, we can succeed, especially in Fuladu where.
Good morning, everybody here. First of all, I will start with my left side. That's my brother Billo. You are most welcome to this activity. With the chairperson, I've been working with him for tirelessly to get this grant from TGG or from Girl Generation over 6 months. With our technician Gassama, you are most welcome, and the Honorable Governor, my mentor or my boss or whatever you call her. She always guides me on whatever we are doing in youth matters. As the chair rarely mentioned earlier on, I represent for the young people on behalf of the National Youth Council. National Youth Council is an act of parliament that we represent or we coordinate the young people of this country. Particularly URL, I'm the representative, I'm the rep at the national level, which I came yesterday from other engagements. And I will welcome the press, the media, the participant, and of course my facilitators. Mr. Chair, I think you forget my facilitators, but they are most welcome. Without them, we can't gain nothing. As the chairman rightly mentioned, Samba Tacko is a youth group whereby I've been working with them almost 2 years. And that was a national forum whereby I was invited, particularly, and I have to take the opportunity to bring the opportunity to my region. That's a youth group that are going to benefit from this grant. And as you really mentioned, you can see the banner. It's a charity organization based in London, in UK, where it's going to fund this project. And Samba Tacko was lucky to gain about 400,000 to implement at least 7 activities within my region. So I was very brave enough to call on them, and they respond positively. That I know, and the office in Banjul really trusts in me to choose this association to put on their proposals towards them. We've been monitoring them, and finally we were shortlisted. And that's my work, because that's why I am there. Whatever I see at the national level, I must create the avenue for my region, because that's why they elect me to represent them at the national level. And as I am speaking, it's only URA and CRR particularly benefited this grant. Not only other thing, but like is the statistics shows in regards to FGM and early marriage. My region is the most vulnerable region when it comes to FGM. I've been attending so many programs regards to FGM or whatever. But in this charity organization based in UK, I spoke to the lady directly. She told me, your region is more vulnerable. Choose any group that you think you trust. They can implement the program. They can be given the fund, whereby, Honorable Governor, as I'm speaking, I think 3 youth groups have been benefited from this grant from UK. This is Samba Tacko. Subsequently, they will invite other programs, I know. I know for Kairabatu, very soon they will have one of their programs. You will be part of it. And I guess Malondren, though, based on their design project or whatever, some of them are going to implement their activity around the Woodleys and Sandus. It doesn't matter. For your information, I can say 1 million, as I'm statistically have these people have given the grant to my region based on their respective association. So without taking more time, it's not me, it's you, because you elect me to be there. So I have to look the opportunity, to give the opportunity. That's my work. Not me, it's you people. Once again, you are most welcome on these activities. There's a 2 days capacity building, because we have looked at thoroughly, not all the time sensitizing on the community or whatever. Noses are very, very important in this campaign, which we believe. And when we wrote the proposal, the donors welcome. Not every time people go to the community or whatever. What about the nurses? They work with the people directly. And we have made some findings, a lot of findings. Nowadays, they take your child from customers or whatever. But if the nurses are there, they can able to guide us and at least to sensitize these women, young ladies, about the implications or whatever. But then the resource part will going to tell us more about it. I'm not a health personnel. I'm just a youth rep. I think they will come to that. Without taking much time, Mr. Gassama, this is all what I can tell you. Thank you very much. Honorable Governor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ture. And I'll also want to say good morning to every and each member present here today. And I think a lot has been said as far as the implementation of this particular activity is concerned. No, in any gathering that is called in this world, there should be an agenda. If there is no agenda, then that gathering has no use. And I know that all of you present here know why you are here as far as this activity is concerned. This training will be very, very important as far as I'm concerned personally. That is why my director elected me to come. He really wished to be here so that he can share similar sentiments with you as far as this program is concerned. As you all know that the Regional Health Directorate coordinates all activities as far as health is concerned in the region here. And this particular FGMC training, I will not say is the first time that it's been implemented in the region here. There are lots of target groups that are targeted for this specific training. You know, in Africa or anywhere in the world, if you want to eradicate or eliminate something, you have to start from somewhere. I can remember when Wasukafo first came to the region to train TBAs, now called CBCs. Those are the traditional birth attendants. Those people will be trained so that they will go back to the community to talk to the mothers and also people concerned so that this thing can start at the grassroots level. All those trainings were done because they want people to be sensitized also. I will not say there is no community or individual who will say that I have not heard anything concerning FGMC. So this particular training will be very integral in the part of health system as far as the nurses are concerned. Because when you go to some communities, they'll want to hear certain information from nurses. They will also always tell you in Mandinka, so sometimes there is a little bit of communication gap as far as the nursing and the patient relationship is concerned. So I know that if this training is conducted and people gain a lot of knowledge in this training, that communication gap will somehow be sealed. There will be communication between the nurses and also people concerned coming to the facility and also at the community level. I will say that FGMC is a deep-rooted practice that cannot be eliminated overnight. This is why when the Ministry of Health joined hands with the RCH unit, that is the Reproductive and Child Health Unit, they came to the region to call TAC members. This is the Technically Advisory Committee at the regional level, where you have different stakeholders, different departments, different units coming together to form a committee. If these people are informed, they will go back to their respective institutions, disseminate the information so that everybody will be at the same length. So training nurses, as far as FGMC is concerned, I will not say is the first thing that should be done, but it should be among the priority areas that should be mostly strengthened. Because health system is dynamic and people want the information to be filtered down to them as it should be, and it should come from the right people. So I bet this training will help people present here today so that they will learn at least one or two things as far as FGMC is concerned, and also ask questions. Because if you go back to the community or even your health facilities that we are representing, you need to give them feedback as far as these ones that can be answered by the facilitators, so that when you go back, when you are asked the same questions, you'll know what to tell the people as far as FGMC is concerned. So once again, I would like to welcome you, although this is not my office, but I will welcome you to the region here, because this is a health activity. That is why they choose the right direction of inviting the Regional Health Directorate at the regional level to come and grace this occasion. And I bet you will learn a lot as far as this training is concerned. And once again, you are welcome to this region. Thank you.
The governor of the region to provide us with a statement and equally officially open this training.
Mr. Chair, Chairperson, Samba Tacko Youth Organization, Chairperson, Regional Youth Committee, Mr. Njai, stepping in the shoes of the Director of Health, Mr. Bilo Jalo, Population Officer, participants, resource persons, most importantly, participants, cameraman, good morning to you all. It is indeed gratifying for me to be part of such an important gathering, a gathering that is geared towards improving the health status of the people of this beloved country. We all know we are coming to talk about a very difficult issue. A difficult issue in the sense that it has been stated by Mr. Njai that it is an issue that is deep-rooted. And we all know when traditions are deep-rooted, they more or less become just like a religion. We believe in them in so much that if we don't observe them, we always think we've stepped on one of the pillars of Islam. So, but nonetheless, I think even Islam went along with this practice, but has stated a way. If you don't go by that way, then you are abusing somebody. And abusing somebody, we all know what that means. You are sinning. So when will we stop sinning then? Because I know very well, and we all know very well, that the mode of practice stated by Islam is not the mode that we are practicing. So that means we've been sinning all along. And we have to revisit that then. That is the Islamic point of view. Though I'm not a scholar, but at least we've gone far to talk to religious leaders to know what this practice is all about as far as our religion is concerned. So it is not something that when you don't do, you are sinning. When you do it, you are not sinning, but when you do it the wrong way, you are sinning. So if you cannot do it the right way, and if you don't do it, you are not sinning, it's better not to do it then. Then we move to the health point of view. There are so many risks associated with this practice. If we are to be frank to ourselves, I always take example of myself. I shouldn't be ashamed of that if and only if my statements will have impact on those that I'm talking to. If we are to tell the truth, we are all faced with one or another risk related to this practice. It's a fact. I said it at one Girls' Generation workshop that this particular practice has turned some houses or some marriages upside down. It's a fact, and there were old ladies at that gathering, and they were shaking their heads. Then the best people to talk about the health-related aspect of this particular practice are you. Because you are the ones in the health area. So when you talk about the health-related aspect of this practice, people will listen more than I, the governor, because I'm not a health practitioner. If I talk about the health implication of FGMC, people will just listen to me because it's a leader or an opinion leader speaking. But they may question the relevancy of that message because I'm not a health practitioner. But if one of you should do, they will listen to you keenly because you are the one in that area. You are an expert in that area. And am glad that it is those closer to the communities that are chosen, the CHNs, the community health nurses, who are very relevant in the dissemination of this message. We all know it. Even if you don't go through this practice, you know what it means. I always say it. I used to hate my grandmother because of the practice it took me through. When I think about the pain and I look at her face, I tend to hate her. That she was too wicked to put me through that pain. And what did I gain out of it? Nothing, absolutely. It's a right that was seized from me. What right? A desire that was cut off my life. Many homes are broken. They never want to say why. If you go deep, it's caused by FGMC. If you are not a man, you become frank to your wives, and they either accept that you are not a man, they leave you with you on that condition, and look at their God not to sin, that is not to cause involve or practice fornication, or if they cannot bear it, they look for another man. But there are some women who are physically women, but in relationship with their husbands, they are men like their husbands in the house. All caused by FGMC. Whether we accept it or not. They have no desire for men. They keep on fighting with their husbands when it comes to that relationship, which is the husband's right to get it from them. All caused by FGMC. Sometimes you blame the women when you should not blame them. It's their ignorant parents who put them in that condition. Should we continue to put our children in that condition? We have to look at that. So the nurses, I'm glad that you are targeted. As stated by Yai, you should have been the first to be targeted in this particular activity if we are to succeed. Because we always talk about the health-related aspect. And leaving you out means not succeeding at all. So I'm glad that Samba Tacko decided to involve you and all other stakeholders or project implementers should equally target you to emulate Samba Tacko. It's the only way out. Samba Tacko, I'm grateful. It is not a surprise to see you coming up with such a program to help the youths of this region. Samba Tacko is one of the first youth organizations that I recognize in this region. When I first came in, the first 3 weeks, there was a program at my Bantaba. And this particular group, Samba Tacko, was present. Another youth forum came. They were present. I think that they were the only group, in fact, present. The celebration of Youth Day came. They formed the majority. I tend to wonder whether they are the only active youth group in the region. Keep it up. That is why today you are chosen to take charge of this project. It is good to be good, and it is good to be committed. If you are committed, so many things will come along your way that you don't even expect. So keep up the spirit. We own the Gambia, and nobody will come from outside to take care of the Gambia for us. It is our duty to do so in all aspects, in whatever way we can. So let's tighten our belts and know that we own the Gambia, and we do whatever little we can towards the development of it. So I'm grateful that all those invited are here. And I know the trainers that are invited to take care of this training are knowledgeable in the area. Ask questions if you don't know. Don't just feel because you are a health personnel you should know it. No, you can know it all. That is why capacities are always continuously built. This is one of them. Ask questions and know everything about this practice and help us take care of the communities in which you are. Thank you so much for coming. And Samba Tacko, once again, I thank you so much for the commitment that brought us this particular project. And on that note, I officially open this training program and wish you a joyful program and a fruitful one indeed. And I wish that this is just a starting of a fruitful gain as far as our commitments are concerned. And wish you all the best in these 2 days.